So in this series, we've been talking about dreams, right? And I wanted to talk about how dreams can be a warning for not only yourself, but for other people of not to do something, right? And it would behoove you to warn whoever it is that the dream is about not to do whatever it is that they're about to do. So I want to read something out of Matthew 27, starting at verse 11. And Yahushua stood before the governor, and the governor asked him, saying, Are you the sovereign of the Yahudim? And Yahushua said to him, You say it. And as he was accused by the chief priests and elders, he answered not. Then Pilate said to him, Do you not hear how much they witness against you? And he did not answer him, not one word. So the governor wondered much. And at the festival, the governor used to release the crowd one prisoner whom they wished. And they had then a well-known prisoner called Barabbas. So when they were, I think it's Barabbas in other translations. So when they were assembled, Pilate said to them, Whom do you wish I release to you, Barabbas or Yahushua, who was called Messiah? For he knew that because of envy they had delivered him up. And as he was sitting on the judgment seat, his wife sent to him, saying, Have none at all to do with that righteous man, for I have suffered much today in a dream because of him. Right? So she probably had terrible nightmares and visions of being tormented. And she's telling her husband, have nothing to do with him, because those things that I saw in my dream could probably come to fruition. I want nothing to do with that, right? So I lost my place. But the chief priests and elders persuaded the crowds that they should ask for Barabbas and to destroy Yahushua. And the governor answering said to them, Which of the two do you wish I release to you? They already said who they wanted. But he asked again. They said Barabbas. Pilate said to them, What then shall I do with Yahushua, who is called Messiah? They all said to him, Let him be impaled. And the governor said, Indeed, what evil has he done? And they were crying out all the more, saying, Let him be impaled. And when Pilate saw that he was getting nowhere, but rather an uproar was starting, he took water and washed his hands before the crowd, saying, I am innocent of the blood of this righteous one. You shall see to it. And all the people answering him said, His blood be on us and on our children. Then he released Barabbas to them, but having Yahushua whipped, he delivered him over to be impaled. And so Pilate was influenced. He was not influential. He was heavily influenced by the people, right? He was like being pressured. And in my opinion, I feel like his wife having those dreams about Yahushua and being tormented in those dreams was essentially for Pilate, because he was like, I don't know what to do here. I don't know what to do. They're saying that this man needs to be killed. However, he has done nothing. They have nothing against him. They have no evidence, no proof. They have no case against him, right? And so he's like, I don't know what to do. But his wife being there and having those dreams helped his decision. And being like, okay, you know what? I'm wash my hands of him. He hasn't done anything wrong. But I think his wife had a lot of influence over him in making that decision, because he like he said, he see that he was getting nowhere with the people. But the thing is, he should have just washed his hands, period. He shouldn't have even gone back and forth with the people trying to figure out what it was that, Yahushua did. But the whole point of this is that when you have dreams about other people, especially if it's a warning for them to not do something or for them to not go somewhere, to keep them out of harm's way and to keep them out of being at fault for something, especially bloodshed, you absolutely should tell them. This is why we should take heed to every single dream that we have. No matter what the source of that dream is, we need to take heed to it, right? And so on top of this, I was reading in this book, still reading this book, and she was talking about the different things that can influence your dreams or how to prepare for your dreams. So the first one is the soul's intake. So we are made of body, spirit, and soul. So whatever your soul intakes, whatever you're listening to, whatever you're reading, whatever, you know, listening to, reading, watching, all those things, whatever you're taking into your soul, that can affect the type of dreams that you have, right? And so in this case, with the woman, with Pilate's wife, she knows that her husband is under a lot of pressure, and she knows that he has this huge decision to make. And so knowing that, and he's probably been talking to her. I don't know if this all happened like in one day or this happened over a course of time, but she obviously knows that her husband is dealing with a lot of pressure, and they probably talked about it. But the thing is, what she's intaking, what she's listening to, what she's hearing has influenced these dreams. But it's also, Yahweh was probably like, hey, go tell him, don't have anything to do with that. And so the next thing is food. That's probably one of my biggest things, is that food, especially the type of food that you eat, can influence your dreams, especially what you eat right before you go to bed. Like, I've always heard it that you shouldn't eat sweets before going to bed because they can induce nightmares. But also in here, Stephanie mentioned eating heavy fatty foods before going to bed can cause nightmares and demonic type dreams. So definitely pay attention to what you're eating. Rest. And it's not just rest as in sleep. So one thing she mentioned in here, it says, if our hope is in our achievements, we will feel stressed when we fail to meet our goals. Our personal lives will take a hit and rest will feel like a luxury. This is because our hope is not in Yahweh, but in our abilities and accomplishments. But when we place our hope in Yahweh, we realize our worth and value come from Him. We can find rest in the knowledge that Yahweh loves us unconditionally and has a plan for our lives. So in this particular instance, Pilate is in a state of unrest, right? And so is his wife. She's in a state of unrest, which is why she had these dreams. So having rest is not just sleep, but it's also having rest and putting all of your faith and hope in Yahweh, and not being stressed by these external things, by work, by children, by family, by whatever's going on in the world. But having that hope and faith in Yahweh can give you rest just in all things that you do, not just your sleep state. And then the last one is the first 90 seconds upon waking. And this is something that I need to work on. But when I wake up in the morning, and the thing is, I used to not have my phone in the bedroom, but now that I do, I need to go back to not having it in the bedroom, because I do have an alarm in my bedroom, but I don't need my phone. But I'll get up in the morning and scroll on my phone. But just to remember my dreams, I need to not have my phone in there so that I'm not looking at text messages or, YouTube or emails or what have you. But just waking up and spending that time praying, and then just trying to recollect the dreams that I had. Because my thing is, by not remembering dreams, there could have been dreams that I had that were super important. That could have been, I needed to tell somebody something, or I needed to remember this. I needed to prepare for something. Like, you want to remember your dreams because, like I said, your dreams are not just for you. Your dreams can also be for other people. And so remembering them is important. So just want to leave out with that.